I really felt that we were providing support and care to humanity around the world because it's the right thing to do. And that made me feel proud no matter who was president. And now I don't know what to do. And I have cried every day. I think that that's normal. I have a 15-month-old at home, and I'm looking at him and thinking, well, what's this country that we're now living in?
We're doing work for the American public. We're here for safety. And we're patriots. We love our country. That's why we're taking these jobs that don't pay us in the private sector. I'm an accountant. I could get a private sector job tomorrow, but I care about this country and I want to be here.
All of our networks have been dismantled. You know, there's no jobs for us here in DC. I don't know if there are jobs for us, period. A lot of people's professional lives have just been completely ruined. And I want to know how the senators are going to support us. How are they going to give us resources? How are they going to make sure that people's families are taken care of? We're just witnessing like, the entire industry is going down. And what are the senators going to do about it?
To be honest, our entire industry is imploding because they are demolishing USAID in the wood chipper. A lot of the work that we did at USAID promotes soft power, promotes our image around the world for America. And if you don't invest in this, then you will pay a lot more in defense, and it puts everybody at risk.
Today I responded to the email that we received as federal employees.
Yes, federal workers are in tears. Before we even go into that, Joy Behar falsely claimed on The View today that Elon Musk supported apartheid in South Africa. Meghan Markle said this out. If Elon Musk sues The View, I will join DOGE. She actually said something linking to a lawsuit. I don't know if you've seen that. Take a look at this.
That now I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was. He grew up at that time when apartheid was in full bloom before the great Nelson Mandela fixed that. He was around at that time, but maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He might have been a young guy, too.
Might have been.
So don't be suing me, okay, Elon? They're allowed to say any lie they want, but we have to be really strict. That's why this show is important.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I don't think he ever wanted really the responsibility of the job. He's not really bright enough to handle the job. And Elon Musk kisses his butt and strokes his tiny ego or big ego, whatever it is. And he doesn't get to he can take a nap while the guy was not born in this country, who was born under apartheid in South Africa, so has that mentality going on. He was pro-apartheid, as I understand it.
He's a naturalized citizen.
Right?
Now.
He's a naturalized citizen.
Now he's a naturalized citizen.
Oh, really? How did he do that? Did he come over the border legally?
Yes, I don't know if you realize that later in the show, she attempted to walk back her comment, admitting that she didn't know if they were true and said, "Don't be suing me, okay, Elon." She realized it was a lie, struggling now to backtrack, though a lot of people are calling Elon Musk to sue her. In another clip you saw, Elon Musk has turned Joy Behar into an anti-immigrant activist. That is just the truth. The guy was not born in this country. What's that? So they are now advocating. It is crazy sometimes. Now going to this federal worker, these people are insane. I don't know. I'm going to show you the complete video. When you take a look at this lady is ranting, comparing what Elon Musk is doing to North Korea. Federal worker compares answering Elon Musk's email to living in North Korea. It felt like such a glimpse into the reality that they are trying to create it, and it was terrifying just to reply that email.
DOGE did not exist 2 years ago. 19-year-olds were not raiding the Treasury 2 years ago. People who have no idea with medical background have not been hauling in and creating kangaroo courts for scientists to dismiss them 2 years ago. That started happening now. Elon Musk is not a scientist. He is not an engineer. He is a billionaire con man with a lot of money. He does not have this kind of good background.
Today I responded to the email that we received as federal employees asking us to report 5 things that we accomplished last week. I'm not worried about my 5 things. I have plenty of things to report. I did plenty of work last week. But the feeling of just like absolute existential dread that I felt typing out a response to that email is something that I wish I could convey to everyone, because it felt like such a glimpse into the reality that they are trying to create. And it was terrifying. It felt like, you will do what I say or else. The email that we received did not say that failure to respond would be taken as a resignation, but the post on X did say that. And leadership at my agency is pretty much like, the email's authentic, but we don't know if the threat is or is not. We are going to respond, but kind of left it up to each of us to decide what to do. We have received more emails about all of the fucking bullshit going on with DOGE and Elon and all of this federal employee stuff, that like I've spent more time in the last couple of weeks navigating these emails, going to these town hall meetings, going to these other meetings, making sure that so that the leadership can break down what's happening and tell us how we need to respond and tell us what the fuck is going on and tell us, oh, you might lose your job because when your FTE runs, like there's so many things that they're having to convey to us. And so nothing that actually should normally be getting done and accomplished is being done or accomplished because we're all so busy fucking trying to navigate this hellscape that is happening. That is waste. That and the fact that the studies we work on, if we are worried that they might be considered, something that will lose funding, what's the point in working on it now? And has the last year, 2, 3 years of work we've done on it been for naught? Like, that's wasteful. Like, this whole thing is an exercise for them to show us how much power they have and how little we have, and how we must do what they say. And it's so insane because, again, who the fuck is Elon? Like, and how does he get to decide that he is king of the federal employees, king of HR at the Office of Personnel Management, and he gets to tell us, send this email or you're fired, like you lose your job? There's no rationale here that makes it make any sense outside of, look how much power I have and you better listen or your livelihood is gone. The 2 million people that are gonna have to respond to this email, if they choose to, are they gonna go through 2 million emails to make sure that they were honest, to make sure that they were authentic, to make sure that the items listed out were relevant to the people's jobs, to make sure that the person, like, there's so many things that would have to happen for them to like actually legitimately go through these emails, and that's not going to happen because it just like, it can't happen, and again, like, it's just a flex. It's just, you need to know who's in charge, and this is one of the ways we're making you aware. And the feeling that I felt responding to that email was such a glimpse into a possible future here, a probable future here if we don't do something about it. It felt so scary and so heartbreaking. It felt much like I would imagine living in a place like what I always imagined North Korea to be like, where the energy is, yes, master, your wish is my command. And again, these people that we're reporting to are people that have no expertise outside of like tech. They don't know anything about the health services that are operated through the federal system or about anything, really. And now half of the CDC workforce is gone, and the national park rangers are like largely gone.
Yes, when I see someone like this comparing the United States to North Korea, it really gets me wondering, if they allow this person to stay in North Korea for 1 week, she won't be able to survive. Yes, not because any person is doing anything to her, but the laws in place won't allow this lady to stay in North Korea. You are in a country where you feel free to even speak up like this. Just imagine you being in North Korea. You don't even have the right to speak up or do certain things. A simple email, respond to it. You can't do that. It's a problem. You can't be accountable to your own work. I just believe that, excuse me, I just believe that if you are working, you should be able to be accountable. You should be able to show forth what you do at any time, at any given time. That should not be something to...
Here's Donald Trump's new director of the Offices of Management and Budget on his feelings about everyone who works for him.
We want the bureaucrats to be traumatically affected. We want, when they wake up in the morning, we want them to not want to go to work.
Mission accomplished, because we've already paid for it with our subsidies. Come on!
It angers me when people are like,